the most recent situation where Ja Morant was holding a handgun on social media, and they said they're going to announce it after the NBA Finals. So, we thought that was interesting. Wanted to get your thoughts on that. And then Antoine, too, I wanted to ask you again because we haven't really spoke to you, about the Ja Morant situation. What's your message to him? And I wanted to ask you too, do you think leaving the Memphis Grizzlies might be in Ja Morant's best interest? Somewhere down the line, just to remove himself from this
Fresh
environment?
start.
Yeah, fresh start.
Um, well, just to answer the last part you said, he definitely needs to leave Memphis.
Mm.
Probably has created too much turmoil there locally. I played in Memphis. Memphis is a nice city, but it's got some rough parts, got some rough patches, and you know, people obviously he's got a huge fan base, and people are following him. And you can be out, and Brandon, you know this. You could be out in the club, out socializing, and you can bump into the wrong person. They want to try you.
Right.
And you don't want to never put yourself in that position because that's the way it seems when you start talking about the guns and all those things. I feel bad, man. I've had the opportunity. I never, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to talk about this, but I feel bad for him, man, because he's such a great and terrific talent. He has the world at his feet. He can be, he can make so much money playing the game that we love, but he's putting himself down an alley that you don't want to go down. And I speak from experience, and not saying I never was like Ja with guns, but I got robbed twice, man. And you get robbed, I got robbed twice. And Brandon, you know Chicago really, really well. I used to wear a lot of jewelry. I used to be around trying to keep it real, be around the guys and stay around them. And unfortunately, when we make it pro and make it to our highest profession, we got to change lanes a little bit because everybody's not going to treat you the same, and everybody's not going to be cool with you. Some people are going to be very envious and jealous of what you have, and it's unfortunate. But when you make it to a certain level, you have to separate yourself in certain situations, and he just has done a terrible job of it. And the bad part about it, he needs to take social media away from himself. Just take it off your phone. I think that's the first thing that bothers me with him. And it's a difference in doing things in the privacy of your home and doing things privately. But he has to get social media away from him, man, whether it's from his own phone and from his friends.
Well,
That's where he's setting a bad example at. That's where a lot of the problems are coming from because he's carrying out these acts on social media. And you can't do that. I mean, in this day and age, too many people watch it. Too many people are envious. And I feel so bad for him because he's a first ballot Hall of Fame type player, man. And he's got everything at his feet. He can make hundreds of millions of dollars playing this game, and he's probably going to get cut short as he continue to play. The NBA, this will be defined. This is the test, the moment right here to be what they find him, what they suspend him, and he's probably going to have. And you got to think about it. He's probably going to have no wiggle room to even make a mistake again. So
how many games are you thinking? How many games do you think?
I'm starting at the minimum half the season.
Wow, that's aggressive.
It's a lot of games.
You think they'll do that? Half a season, bro?
Yeah, because it's guns, man. It's the safety of the players in the league. Obviously, they're gonna want to look out for his safety. And the league is a big brand, man. It's bigger than one player. You know that brand is bigger than one player. So punishment is going to be stiff, and it's going to be the wake up call. I can see that he's going to lose a ton of money, and the punishment is going to be stiff.
Yeah, you spoke about him surrounding himself around people, a better group, for the lack of a better way of putting it. Latest report said that Ja Morant unfollowed his childhood friend Devontae Pack, who was actually the person who had him on his live. So, do you think that maybe is a step in the right direction for Ja Morant? Do you think he's realizing, all right, I need to, associate myself with a different crowd now?
Oh, without question. I mean, I think that takes a lot of courage to be able to do that, and obviously understanding that maybe his friend doesn't have his best interest at heart, and to be able to do that speaks volumes. And I think that's something that the league will look at and understand that he's trying to disassociate himself from some people that have been around him and put him in bad situations. But also too, man, one thing I always try to tell guys, I wish I could tell Ja from a guy I got robbed twice at gunpoint. and this whole keep it real type of mentality. And you know this, Brandon. You was in Chicago.
Right.
You know, you was in Chicago with me. And just trying to keep it real and be around the guys. I mean, people don't allow you to do that. And you have to understand that. And there's different ways you can keep it real without having to hang out with them or be in their presence. And I think that's something that I would like to talk to Ja about. You know, Ja, you got to understand where you at. You're a role model for a lot of kids who love you, love your game. And it's a certain way you got to carry yourself. But also, everybody don't want the best for you.
Twan, did you get robbed at home? Was it like was it in Chicago?
Yeah, I got robbed at home. Home invasion.
Oh, wow.
Were you home?
Yes, I was home. Yep.
Dang.
I was home. And it's weird because, you know, they got in. My stepfather was there at the time, and he went out to the garage to get something for me, and they was out there waiting. And then they ended up coming to the house while I was there. But, you know what I'm saying? That's a scary situation, man, when you get, you know, and you start talking about the guns and all that. And people are envious and jealous. They think he got to understand, people think that that's what you want. That's what you want to be involved.
I wonder
when you do that.
I wonder if that's what the NBA's talking about. And this is just my opinion and my thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see what they disclose when they disclose it. But I wonder if this is what the NBA is talking about, like they found more. Remember what they said, they did their investigation and there was more things that came up. Let's go back to the kid that tried to sue him or sued him at his crib. They were playing pickup at his crib. Things went left. With Ja came out and said afterwards, the dude said he was going to shoot up his crib, and then Ja punched him in the mouth or whatnot. And so I wonder if that's why Ja's been moving that way or felt like he had to go get guns, because why didn't he do this in high school, or why didn't he do this in college? Why didn't he do this the first couple years in the NBA? Why now? Why are you doing this now? I don't think there was any problems before. I don't think he was involved with any guns before these last two incidents. So why now, right? Because I was in a situation in Denver, and some things had happened, and I went straight and got straight to the gun range, to the gun store, whatever they call it. I got me a couple pistols, and that was like idiotic the way I was moving. So I'm curious, you know, on why he got the guns, right? Now, obviously, being boastful and bragging with them, that's a whole nother story. But like, why did you get them in the first place? Because you guys talk about Memphis. There's some cities where you feel like you need to be protected, right? You know, and so when y'all say leave, I say no, because you're just dealing with the surface level shit. Like sometimes you got to get to the root of it. You got to get deeper. So, Ja unfollows his childhood friend. Well, like y'all was just good a week ago. Like, why you unfollow him now? No, like this is to me, that's corny. I'm telling you right now, it's corny. What should happen is both of us sit down as childhood friends and be like, yo, let's be better. Let's hold each other accountable. Yeah. But because I'm in the league and the league coming down on me, I'm going to go say, I'm not going to be friends with him no more. No, it's like, bro, like we both made mistakes. You shouldn't have posted me. I shouldn't have had the gun. You know, we shouldn't be moving like this. Let's get better. If we can't align on where we need to take our lives and our friendship, then we need to move on. And maybe that's the reason, Twan. Maybe that's why he had to unfollow him, because maybe they sat down, they had the little powwow, they did their little intervention, and Buddy said, no, this is how I'm living, this is how I'm moving. Maybe he's a gang, I don't know. But like, that's corny to me. Leaving Memphis would be corny because, you know, Memphis ain't the problem. It's you. You feel me? So I think there's a lot to this. It's going to be interesting, man. I hope he don't get more than a half a season, man. I think this is one of those. I think this is a defining moment for him. I think this is a moment where, you know, he's going to get it right. Now, will he be perfect? No. And if we're expecting for Ja Morant or any athlete or any human being to be perfect after they make mistakes, then you know we're kidding ourselves. We're foolish. Now, you just can't make disasters. That's what I learned. Like, yo, you can make mistakes, but you can't create damn traumatic tragedies. You can't do that, right? So hopefully you get it right, but I don't think it's anything outside of Ja, Twan.
Do we think it's a stunt? I would add to this too when it comes to the punishment. Obviously, he's going to get hit with a big punishment. Um, I think more so. I think you gotta be in a situation where he's got to understand that he's putting his career at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the league does have to make a stance on that. That it's not going to be tolerated because let's be honest. I mean, most of our guys that come in the league are coming from the inner city. They're trying to better themselves, and some of us, we have friends and people that may not be the best people to be around. So you have to, make sure the punishment, I would say, fits the crime.
Right.
So and it actually makes sense moving forward if something like that's happened again, because
Right.
it possibly could,
Right.
because of where our players come from and
Right.
the people that we're involved in, the people that are friends sometimes. So I think for Ja, he has to realize that, listen, man, I got a situation here where I could be one of the best players to ever play the game, play basketball. It's nice to like rap music. It's nice to hang out with the rappers. It's nice to, you know what I mean? But I got an opportunity of a lifetime right now. And it's going to be a one-time. I guarantee you this punishment, he gets no more chances
So,
after this.
so this is the last thing I would say on Ja, Twan, is 2 years ago, Ja trained here at House of Athlete. And so his father was here, his uncle was here, his whole camp, the guys that trained him from IMG Academy, where he went to high school, right up in Bradenton, Florida, just north of where we sit today. And what I would say is, it seems like they're trying to do it right, but just walking through the building, and I didn't spend a lot of time with him. You know what I mean? Like there's times he's sitting on our stadium seats having lunch, and I'll connect with him. I'll say what's up. And that was it, and I'll keep it moving. But, I connected with the people around him, his trainers, some of the friends that was there. And the conversation around him was, yo, how do we benefit, right? And so, we talk about unfollowing his guys. Like, look, that might be the case. I just don't want to use that as an excuse because Ja got to do the work. It's not Memphis. It's not the people, because you got to control the things you can control. But there's some people in that circle that's like, yo, Ja Morant, I can build a product off of this or a facility off of this. There's the trainers that's like, yo, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. Like the video people, everybody trying to eat off Ja. And that's not the blueprint. That's not the blueprint Jay-Z gave us. That's not the blueprint LeBron is that laid out and gave us and showing us. That's not the way. It's not what I can get from this. It's like, yo, how do we build together that makes sense? And there's a lot of let me move on, because there's a lot of clowns that was in that circle from, what I saw 2 years ago.